Well, I picked up some of these on the internet. These are like basically a gold-plated pickup surround. I think we're on this one. It's going to look good, especially with all three on, and decent pickups. And notice how near the neck actually comes. Don't forget it overhangs. So it's a really close but nice fit. So everything's good about this and these three. It's going to look great. So let's fit the pickups to these, and then let's fit the pickups to those, or to that. Indeed. Okay, before we really go berserk, this is one of the three pickups I'm going to be fitting. These are Seymour Duncan Antiquities, and if you've never heard of these or never seen them before, or never heard them before, these are a bit of an eye-opener. Seymour himself makes these. They're not done through the regular run-of-the-mill production. This one happens to be, this is the middle. Texas Hot, and away you go. Oh, it's not the middle. Just testing, just reading the box. You get an idea of how to fit them if you don't know. This is just like the original. He says 0.05 microfarad. We'll see. Out of the way. You get a nice little box. What else do you get? Let's have a look. Yeah, you get a load of crap and a sticker. Okay, let's not worry about that. By the way, I bought these second hand. Look, you can even Seymour's actually signed the little thing they come with, and the numbers will match up, I'm sure. This tells you all about them, you know. He talks about old pickups and how they're different and how they were made in 1954, I think it was. 53 in fact. And then it rambles on about how he's copied everything and made it just the same, but these are actually Texas Hot, so you can get a bit more power than that original 54, which is going to be really good for me. That's the sort of thing I like. So let's move the box out. What else do we get? Well, you get it sort of wrapped up like this. Like I said, these are second hand. You don't want to buy them new. You haven't got enough money. But there they are. Well, there's one of them. You can see it's an old tatty looking thing. This one's been cut back a little bit. I suspect this one was from the bridge, which is where we're going to be fitting it, because it's got a shorter wire than the other two I already checked. Yeah, so all looks original, the original old-fashioned stuff. It all looks really, really good. At least that's what I think. Okay, let's hope they work. Well, one of the things we're going to do before we fit these is we're just going to test that they do work, and I'm going to show you how to do that with a meter. So let's move on and do that. Okay, I've been to get my little meter. Got my two probes. Well, probing things, don't you? And I've got the pickup. All nice and simple. You just set it up for ohms. I have this set to 20k. And I connect one to one side and one to the other. Really scary. And that's looking at 6.29. 6.29 is good. 6.2, 6.3. Anywhere in the low 60s is good. But remember, these are slightly hotter. So they're higher than some of the 5.7s, 5.8s that you see out there on the older stuff. So 6.3 is just right. And I suspect the other two are similar. Well, I know they are, because the previous owner checked them and told me. So I'm not going to worry too much about them. Well, maybe I'll check them. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's get the other two out. Okay, this is the other one. This one looks like the bridge. Sorry, the neck to the bridge. And that's running at 6.292. Fancy that. 6.2963. Well, that's exactly where the other one was, so I'd say that's pretty much well matched. Let's go and check that middle one. Okay, first thing you'll notice on this one is it's a reverse wound, reverse polarity middle. That takes away some of that hum in the second and fourth positions of the switch. Most people know that. Some don't. I just thought I'd cover it just so that we're sure of where we're going in case you've never built one before. So there you go. Okay, this is the last pickup. See the wires, full length, nice. So the only one that's been cut back, actually, was the bridge one. So we look at the measurements on this one. Remember they were all 62963. That's slightly higher, but that's okay. We'll live with that. 6.34. I like neck pickups. I don't know, a bit more power. There you go. That's how you do it. Okay, I just wanted one other little look at these. These are awesome things. These really nicely finished gold, because gold works on this. You can see I've actually got 3 of these, so they're all going to be pretty cool. They weren't that expensive, I think about $20, maybe a bit less than that, but they're all on eBay. I think they like some of the old Telecaster covers, but who knows, I don't play Telecasters. Well, that's one of the things we're going to be fitting. Another thing we use are real Fender screws, right? You find some of the compatible ones aren't quite the same. These, if you look at the little sink, counter sink that is, not your kitchen sink. Where am I going with this? These are the ones you want. You don't want the crap ones. They matter. I also want one of them. You've seen them before. It's a Fender one, because I want it to be like a Fender. I'm an also ran. This will be better than a Fender, don't you worry. One of the things most people don't quite get right when they fit these, if you're fitting a gold one, is they'll often go and get one of these. The seat there. See? And that's not a gold one. What's it like? Bodge. I did that on the last one actually. Bodged it. But on this one, I got the real deal. I'm not going to bodge it. I'm going to fit the real gold one. Oh, this guitar's going to weigh a ton, I think. What else are we going to fit? I talked about the, let's have a look in here. 0.047. Well, that's nearly point, I don't know. Well, try that. If it doesn't work, try another one. Another one here. What's this one? This one's, well, you have to work it out from the things here. Who cares? I don't know. Try it. You'll find the answers to these things. All this stuff. All of this. All this sort of sizes and measurements and all the rest. It's all on the internet. Go and choose your own. Or choose the one that it says on the instructions. This is also nice. Original wire. You can peel it back like that. It just slides back. That's the proper stuff. See it? And it's sort of tinned inside, so it's very stiff. That's the stuff you want to be using. If you're going to make it authentic, that is. If you're not, get a bit of plastic. Put that away. Over there. And last but not least, we've got a kit that I bought from eBay. This one's a made in USA CRL switch. It's exactly the same. Notice I've got the 5-way. Don't want half a job. I'll stick to the 5-way, thanks. Especially bearing in mind I've got a reverse wound, reverse polarity thing in there. Where am I going here? That's it, that's where I should be. Also got a CTS 250. Yeah, it works. Another CTS 250. Yeah, that one works too. And another CTS 250s. Now 250s are good with single coil pickups. 500s are probably better if you're doing something like a humbucker, but I'm not, so we won't talk about that. Well, that's it for now. We've got more things that are going to go on the guitar regarding the tremolo, but I ain't going to tell you about that for now. We'll wait until that arrives a bit later. Let's carry on with this. Here goes. Okay, well what we're going to do now is really to fit the neck. There's the plate. I did hack away a bit at it, and don't forget this will be sent away for gilding in due course, but for now it'll fit it. Come back to it later. I took the screws that we were talking about before, and basically we'd marked them up, and now they've been cut down. You can see very easily at the different lengths. Okay, so let's fit it. Here we go, all nice and easy. Don't forget the neck goes in from above, and then we pick the guitar up. Well, I'm going to carry on fitting it, and as soon as I got it fitted we'll chat again. And there it is fitted. So the next thing we're going to do is fit these pots. Not rocket science, just takes a few minutes to fit, and then we can carry on with the next bits. Actually, I'm waiting for parts, so when I've fitted these we're going to be, well, you won't be waiting long, but I might. Some of these suppliers are awful. I'll come back to some of the other things later. Let's fit these now. Well, this is how they come. What you've got to do, if you look at the side of this thing, you'll see there's like a nib, and that nib really wants bending out of the way. If you don't, it'll sink into the body, and on this one I don't want it to do that at all. It is. Just take it and bend it flat. That's good. You can even use it for ground, I guess. Use it for what you want, doesn't matter. But make sure these are bent flat. Then you've got the usual suspects on here. We've got a bottom screw, one of them, which I always leave there underneath. This will fit on the top with this. So when we fit it into the body, this is held in place quite nice. I'll probably have to take that bottom screw off. Nut, should I say. Let's check it on the body. Just take that off. And try this one, just as a general test. Let's take a look. What you want to be doing is having this sticking through enough, but not too much. Assuming it fits the body, which who knows with Warmoth, I don't know. Well, guess what? It doesn't, so I'm going to have to fix that. Well, okay, what do you do when the holes don't actually work on a guitar? Where you're going to see all the face? You can see very clearly it doesn't fit in that one. It doesn't fit in that one. In fact, it does fit in this one because I've just done it. And all you do is take a very small, I use a needle file, sort of semi-round thing, and just go around it like this, just very carefully, cleaning up the hole until it's the size it should be. And then we can carry on doing the pots. Well, I'm going to do these other two now, and I'll see you in a moment. Well, as you can now see, they've been cleaned out. I think it might have been a little bit harsh on old Warmoth at the time. It's probably a bit of this this finish that was in the holes. Maybe not, who knows. But we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, I think. Anyway, what I want to do is to try this in here first, like so, and then take a look on the other side at how much it sticks through. You can see there's not a lot of room. So what we're going to do is just fit the screw and fit this, and we're in business. Just absolutely as easy as that. I'm going to do the other two. So with the pots fitted, on this guitar you can see everything's just about flush. You've got to remember this is thicker than a regular scratch plate, so I have to leave some of those other screws off that I might have wanted to leave on, in particular the washer. But in this case it wasn't possible to fit the washer, so never get on there. If you're using a scratch plate, just make sure you put that washer underneath, it stops the things turning. if you look around the back of this thing, assuming you can see that, guys, I'm sure you can. Let's get to the right place. There's the job with the pots fitting. These two face towards each other. That one faces down. It's just the way life is. And then we've got the switch to fit in here. This back plate. Some wires. Off you go. Rock and roll. It's going to be good. Next thing to do, I'm just going to fit the pots on the top. Just put that flat. Grab hold of the pots. Here. Why not? They're done with. Here we go. Let's turn them up full. And then of course you've got the volume here. Oh, that's a bit near. I'm leaving this for now. These just slide on. Oh, nice and easy. You know, one of the things when you're making a guitar like this, it's a little bit out of the ordinary. You can come across various little problems. I can see one right now. I'm just going to get one of them plates. That's life. This is what you've got to do. Oh, so it's going to have to be cut away somehow. I can't really do much with the pot. The pot's where they put it. Okay, well, what I was able to do was to move this down slightly by elongating the hole, but elongating the hole, it still covered the hole completely with the washer, so it wasn't far out, it was just a little bit out, because I was using non-standard kit. So what I've done is just move that down a little bit, and now I'm just about able to fit that. And it doesn't really affect this at all. That's cool. Is it in the right place? Who knows? It'll do. It's got to be in the right place because nowhere else put it. Masking tape. You've all seen it before. I could use a number of things in here, but what I'm going to do is use this. And I'm going to put this inside and cover the whole area so that there can be no shorts. Okay, and as you can see now, these things are in the bottom. They're now all nice and shielded. You won't have any trouble from that. And you won't have any short circuits either. In the back it's a different matter because the wires are nice and away from everything else, but in here is where you can get problems, especially on this type of body where there's no scratch plate. Another area where I put a bit of masking tape is around this area here, particularly on this guitar. Anywhere where you think there's going to be wires that could touch or connectors that could touch, you need a bit of this masking tape and it'll solve all your problems, trust me. You see, when we go and fit this CRL switch a bit later on, you're going to see that it could very easily touch the sides. Now we can bend that up out of the way, but we're going to do that. But it's better just to make sure that you don't want to be touching the sides like that. That'll just take it straight down to ground. Then it won't work. Much better to just take this and just to bend these up a little bit. Not too much, because don't forget this one has a lid on. And still make sure that it's clear of that lid. You can also put a bit of masking tape underneath the lid. Doesn't matter, as long as it's as long as it works for you. Well, there you have it. Now it's beginning to look a bit more like a guitar. I'm going to move on and take a look at the pickup surrounds next. Now, one of the things you're going to have to do, probably, if you're putting these things on the Strat, you find that these screws for the, let's come down a bit, these screws for the pickups don't actually fit the holes. So what I have to do is drill them out. I've already done two, I'll do the third one, and then we'll fit the pickup. Back in a minute. Well, there it is drilled. and all you really need to do then is fit the two little rubbers that used to be on the old Fenders, which are on these because they're Antiquities. Slide them on. Easy peasy to do. And then take the pickup, get the right way round, and basically fit that. You need to screw it on too far, just until it bites. The same this side. I just don't have them too high at the moment, but there it is, fitted. That's what it's going to look like when it's in the guitar, nice and shiny and gold. Well, as you can see, look, I haven't fitted. I've still got one left, and I saved this one for later so that I could show you guys. It's all very simple. What you need to do is, on a guitar of this style, remember, it's easier on a regular Strat. You've got a little hole that goes through, and basically you push your wires through, pull them out the back, and take it from there. I used a piece of, basically a piece of pickup wire to pull the other wire through from the other side, especially on this one. This was quite long in this body, but it goes about this far. So all we need to do is to take your pickup, get the surround on it, do all that, seal off that piece with a bit of masking tape, and then push this down through the hole so you can get the wire at the other end and pull it through. You just then very easily fit it in position. I'll show you once we've got it in. Back in a moment. Well, if you remember on this one, we had this bit of a problem where the control knob, let me just move that round a bit if I can, and up a bit, that's better. Fancy a bang. And basically I just made it just far enough that way so we can get away with that, like so. So that just wants quick drill in there, quick drill in here, and you're in business. Wires are pulled through, we'll turn it over in a second. So let's just drill that hole. I want to be as near as I can really to the edge of that, as near as I can, without making it so that we lose the screw. So that's how it's got to go. Actually, what I'll do, oops, is we'll fit the other end first. Makes it much easier. Here we go. That's the drilling out of the way. You can be very careful when you fit the screw, because you don't want to go through into the top. It all works very nice if you're careful with it. And it's all very awful if you don't. Okay, so get the screw going. Get it pretty near where you want it. Hold it forward like that. So this doesn't actually touch. Well, it doesn't matter where to put it, it doesn't touch. But there's good. And if I adjust this pickup with it fitted, it should go up and down very nicely, which it does. What about this end? Oops, wrong screw. Yeah, that goes up and down very nicely too. So I'm just going to drill that hole now, and away we go. Here we go. And that was it. Just get the bits from underneath, and then fit the screw. So have this one done. So we just screw that down. Basically, pickups are exactly where I want them. That's it. Job done. Let's have a look down there. Give me a second. You can see there's the finished job. Right, now when it comes to the back of the guitar, you'll notice that I've got the wires coming in, and I've used a bit of masking tape and put a letter on each one telling me what it is. This is the middle, this one's the neck, so that one's the bridge. Yeah, so what I was saying, you get your masking tape and you pull the wire down and just tape around it like this, wrap it round, just like Leo used to. Good old Leo. And just tag it round like that. And all I'm going to do with that one is get my pen and type a letter B on there. And if you look really carefully, maybe you can see, maybe you can't. I can. So now we've got all three pickups fed through into this area. One thing as well, we don't want to be cutting these wires, because on these sort of pickups you cut these wires and you'll devalue the pickups no end if you ever come to take them out or sell them. So what we wanted to do is to just keep them as they are, mark up what they are. What we'll do is we'll wind them round as necessary. But the next thing we really want to do is to fit the switch, which goes down there, and then we'll do a bit more wiring. So let's do that now. Okay, and as you can see, we've got the Selector switch fitted. Fancy that. Works too. One of the things you've got to be careful of when you're building one like this is the holes that these screws fit in become too small, because when Warmoth does his body, all of the finish runs into the holes. Now if you just try and bodge them in, what's going to happen is this finish on the top is going to crack off, and then you'll crack off too, or you'll go for a piece of crack, or I don't know. Should I say that? I don't know, I shouldn't say that. Hi Al.
Hi.
Yeah, right. That's Al. You can't see him, you don't need to. Trust me, he's bad. You'll meet him in another thing later. Okay, I'm going to turn it over and we'll just have a look at the back. Okay, as you can see, there it is fitted. Screws are a bit longer than they should be, don't worry about that. Adds a bit of weight. Better tone, man, better tone. If you believe that, you believe anything. Okay, so that's a bit of a better view. We've got these three coming off the pickups, which are the, as I said, the live wires. We've got this is going to be soldered onto there, just about there. That leg's been bent on so it can be soldered to there, which it's got to be. And then we've got a few other bits and pieces to go down here, such as, very good question, what we got? These bits and pieces. We've got a couple of capacitors, well, probably only fit one on them. And we've got some bits of wire. And oh, we've also got the bridges arrived. That special one we were talking about. Let's take a quick look at that and then we can come back to the wiring. Well, here's the bridge we're going to be fitting onto the guitar. This one's basically a bladerunner V from Super V, should I say? Bladerunner from Super, yeah, from Super V. I think that's it. That's what it says. Yeah, Super V LLC. Cost a fortune to get to England. Then those greedy characters had their 20% when it got here. So there's loads of things, but there it is. Bit of a different one than the one that you might fit as standard. But you reckon this one's awesome. And you need something awesome for a guitar like this. So that's the one that's getting on there. Oh, one other thing it's got is it's got a whammy bar that basically fits nice and tight in the hole. Even though it screws in, it's adjustable. That's quite nice. Oh, I quite like that. Look at the shine of that. And we've got the other bits and pieces that it comes with, which are going to fit in the hole sometime in the near future. That's it for that now. Let's go back to the wiring.